Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is centered on our good friend here, the 1970 MGB GT. A quick update on where things stand. Couple things. First of all, since we last spoke, I have actually installed the other headlight into the car and the different turn signal and market signals, so it was good. I did complain to Moss regarding the kind of a poor quality of the front marker light slash turn signals. They came back and said, well, that's the only one that's available. We'll let our people know. So whatever, it's all good. They're in there now. I did have an opportunity to also finish up the wiring. As you can see, it's very spot on. There's really no wires to be seen, which is really cool because they basically come up here and the wires are actually in the top there, over in this neck of the woods here. So they actually, you can see this little stainless steel screw. There's a couple of them. Those support those cool little wire clamps. So if you actually look inside here, you can actually see over here where the wire is at. So yeah, talk about a nice, neat setup. I really like that. We do have a couple of cables still left, unplugged, one there. And there's one back in here somewhere. I'll have to go dig it out. But basically those are for the horns. I just ordered a couple horns. That'll be great. They'll be finished. I still have to get a couple of items here for the engine compartment. Obviously I need a fan. So I did order an electric fan for this. So we'll see how that goes. And then I also ordered some clamps to put the hoses together. Basically these clamps over here so we can kind of connect them up together. I'm also missing a bushing over here. You see there's a bushing down below. So before I actually physically tie up this and torque it down, these oil cooler lines, we'll put the bushing in. So, but other than that, engine compartment is almost ready to go. The only thing I'm missing are the plug wires. I have not put them on purpose, mainly because I have to get to the back oil line over there. And anyway, I figured until I actually figure out how to get back there and torque that line, I'll hang tight on the spark plug wires because at that point in time, I'll have to figure it out. So, but yeah, anyway, some interesting news since last time. So since last we spoke, guess what this is? This is that big, giant, massive fuel cell, which was in the back of the car. So anyhow, let's go check out the hole real quick. Fuel cell was in this big, giant hole over here. Yes, that is a big hole. Oh my. Basically, I was kind of going back and forth whether to redo the exhaust, keep the fuel cell, put a stock gas tank in. And as much as kind of the whole cool racing vibe the fuel cell gives, it's kind of inconvenient. First of all, on what's really not a race car, having to basically open up your trunk to put gas in the car, and especially when it's not isolated from the rest of the car, that's no bueno. As you can tell, here's where the exhaust is right now that I was able to put in. That was that fuel cell. I was gonna have to do a whole reroute of the exhaust system, come up with a different muffler. Not good. So what I decided is to put the fuel tank back in here. So I have a friend of mine who is going to be basically putting a new floor in there for me. So and interesting enough, I have got the fuel cell for sale, and somebody supposedly is going to be picking it up in a few days. And supposedly it's going to be for the exact same amount of money that is costing me to put this floor back in. So it looks like I am going to be basically out the cost of the tank and all the appurtenances that goes with the tank. So we'll have to figure that out. So, but yeah, so anyway, that's a little bit of a kind of a 180 from last time we chit-chatted, where I was like saying, yeah, we're going to keep the fuel cell. Again, after much thinking about it, I decided maybe not to. And then the other thing too is I was either going to pay to mess around with the exhaust system and get it the new mufflers and re-weld it, and you know, I've got this beautiful stainless steel exhaust, or figure out the tank. So I decided to go as a tank. I think that makes more sense. The previous owner, I did put some kind of a sway bar in here, so unfortunately I had to kind of take it out because it interfered with the exhaust. So you can see there's a couple of couplings back there at the bottom where the sway bars go, so we'll have to figure that out. There's also that's the fuel line that was going back to the tank, so that will get figured out also. So anyhow, so that is my current exciting news over here. Since we last spoke, I have taken the seats out of the passenger side of the car, and I'm not sure if denuded them is the best way to describe it, but that's pretty much what we did. They're down to their basic components. So they are looking a little rusty. But here are all the bits and pieces. So we'll need to get some of the stuff cleaned up to get some of the foam off. Interesting enough, a lot of the vinyl is actually glued to the seat frame. I looked at some videos online, and the videos had a lot of the actual covers were held by clips, but in this particular car, the covers was all glued in. So, and talk about interesting about this car is that as we're taking this apart, first of all, you can see the foam's actually in pretty decent condition. So that's the good news. The interesting thing is that, I'm not sure if you can read this, but I do believe they did not have barcodes back in 1970. So what it tells me that this car has obviously have been reupholstered somewhere in the not too distant past. And as a matter of fact, the stickers say 1995, so there you have it. So anyhow, so that's kind of a quick update. So we are going to be looking at that. We are missing the headrest, but that's kind of in my bedroom right now. I went ahead and put the little leather cover over it. It looks good. We'll show it to you later on. So the next step really is I need to get the wiring on the car from basically being here on the floor, somewhere at the bottom of the car, which you can see just kind of laying down, to secured all the way to the back, mainly because I need to get this car towed over to my friend's house so he can do the welding on the floor, and I can't have all the bits and pieces kind of just floating around. I have, most people may have noticed, still kept the tow bar attachment to the car. So that has been on purpose, just in case I need to tow it somewhere. So looks like I will be towing it again. The good news is, with the car being on dollies, it's just a question of basically moving the motorcycle, my couple of bicycles, pushing the car in here, turning it around, actually not that direction, this direction, and hooking up the truck to it, and voila, life will be good. Funnily enough, putting the car back in the garage will be just as easy. I will drive the truck in the garage all the way down, put the car on dollies, disconnect it, move the car back through the hole here, back in its position, and life is good. So anyhow, that's kind of where we stand right now. I am going to be working on pulling the wiring to the back of the car. So nothing too exciting, mainly because it's underneath the car. It's going to be tough to really see much of anything. So the goal will be, as I get stuff kind of placed, I will show you kind of exactly what I did, and we'll go from there. Right now, the challenge is trying to find some spots to actually secure the wire underneath the car. So we'll go from there. So anyhow, we'll check that out in a bit. So several hours later, the good news is when you go below the car level, look, there are no more cables hanging down. So we had some extreme amount of quality time, basically crawling around under the car, trying to figure out exactly where to route the wire. We had fun trying to get a whole bunch of wires up through that hole. As a matter of fact, we ended up having to go with a bigger hole because the connectors for the backup lights, which if I'm incorrect, there should be one in here, were quite large, and here we go, and would not go through the actual hole that was already drilled in there, so that was a bit of a pain. So anyhow, so this is pretty well done for the time being. So right now everything is kind of secured for travel. I'm going to most likely hook her up and take her over to my friend's house to get the floor welded in. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to run the wires yet. The wires, based on what I was able to ascertain online, looks like the wires pretty much just run down here, and then also down this track over here at the back of the car, and then over. So it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense at this point in time to put the wires in, so that would be kind of silly. So good news is I did, we do now have the fuel pump closed out. This is the second battery box that will not be using a battery, but there's the fuel pump. So we got that hooked up, so that's good. Now we have all the extra cable for the batteries on that side, so that's good too. So I'm gonna try to get underneath the car. Can't really promise you can see anything. So you can at least see kind of where it was a little rutted. So as we kind of crawl underneath, and again, sorry guys, no promises, you can kind of see what we've done. So I still have to trim all those zip ties. So mainly the previous owner put a pretty stout metal fuel line, so I have everything zip tied to that metal fuel line. We have a couple of crossings, not very pretty over here. And then I'm not sure we can actually see, not really, so I apologize. And wherever possible, I've tried to kind of find a location to put some decent amount of clamps on. So yeah, anyhow, so that's that. Good times. I thoroughly enjoy getting underneath cars. So, and that's kind of what the down connection looked like. I was able to put one more little bracket, and so we'll see how it all works out. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it for today. So our next steps on the car is to, I'm expecting to get the rest of the bits and pieces to finish up the front. I think I mentioned that before. So we'll get that sorted out. And then obviously I still have the seats to work out. Not carpentry, but the carpet, which is actually, right now, it's all sitting out here. Here's the full carpet that I got from Moss. It's actually sitting on the garage floor, just hoping to get some of the little wrinkles out. I'm not sure that's gonna really happen right now because it's kind of winterish here in Arizona, and they're not really wanting to relax a whole lot. So, but yeah, that'll be an adventure trying to figure out how to put that together. So, but yeah, anyway, that's it for today, guys. So again, thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Till then, have a good time. If you like this video, please feel free to give me a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more stuff here, please go ahead and subscribe. Take care now. Bye-bye. If you like this video, hit subscribe and give us a big like down below. Thanks for watching.